Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. A couple notes before we get started. There's a link to my SQL database in R Code in the description below. Don't forget to click the red S button on the lower right-hand corner of your screen to subscribe. And don't forget to share the Caribou Data Science channel with one of your friends this week. And a big shout out to the 22 people who already have subscribed to Caribou Data Science Challenge. Okay, so it's that time of evening now for the random state report, where we randomly select one U.S. state and do some basic COVID-19 analysis on it using R language and Rstudio. And tonight, I'm probably even going to use some SQLite database. As a matter of fact, I think I'll use nothing but SQLite database tonight. And as I just said, the link to that database is in the description below. So first of all, GitHub. All the code is in a GitHub repository. Here it is. So if you wanted to clone it yourself, you would simply do this. You could do it if you know how to use Git. You can simply do a Git clone or a new project in R. Okay, new project in R. New project. Version control. Paste that in there. And now you would clone my repository, including some of the latest data. But as I've said, I'm going to be using a SQLite database this evening that already has the daily cases of death broken out by state, even by county within states. So I'm planning on doing maybe a top 5 to end, a top 5 counties in the state we're working on. But like I said, I'm going to do a lot more copy and pasting this thing just so we can get through it. All right. Random states. Let's close. Let's close this. Close this. And close this. So let's go out and select our random state for this evening. And the lucky winner is Rhode Island. We're going to create a new Markdown. Rhode Island. And here we are. We will be using the R SQL library. And also, I'm going to be using a moving average rather than the low-as function. This will be something different. And I'll pull up that R code for you in just a second. Also, Rhode Island. Not to be confused with Rhode Island Red. Do this. Do this. And the RMD extension tells it R that we want to use R Markdown. So first of all, we're going to load a little data. Back over here. Let's see if we got some database code in here we can use. I'm going to go ahead and copy this right here, because this is where we're going to get the database function from. Let's do this. Every time we run this, so let's just go ahead and load the moving average function. Don't got it there. Don't got it there. Don't got it there. Don't got it there. Okay. Let's see if we can find a little SQL action back over here. This should be our markdown file. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this. Come back over here. Data. I need an extra dot here. Go back up one level. Where is, oh, I know it. No, it's not there. Database. Do that. Now let's come down here and pull some data. Insert some code. Come back over here. We're going to do okay, I'm back. I had to switch over to my other login on this computer in order to update to push the changes up to GitHub for the database. So now what I got to do is COVID-19 start from COVID-19 dbQuery. This and do and now I have my updated database with the data for the 23rd and the 24th. All right, very good. Now where was I? This is a reminder. The state selected for today is Rhode Island, and we're going to be using a once again basic basic R except for SQLite for the data. As I was saying, I've already got the cases broken out with new cases and new deaths for both the states and the county within the state. All right. this, and that. And now we're going to say I think states daily. Check this over here again. Using states daily, as you can see, the date, the state. We're interested the total cases, total deaths is the cumulative total. The previous total cases are probably the cases from yesterday. So you're subtracting the. Actually, I'm not sure. I didn't actually write the code to do this, but so the new cases and new deaths are the total cases for that day for that state in that day. All right. So what we're really interested in is not that, but date. Don't really. Since we don't have, you know what? Just for the fun of it, let's pull Rhode Island out from the main database, which will save a step. Because once again, with this dbGetQuery, you can put any database stem pretty much you want to in there. But of course, it's going to be enclosed in quotes. So this is going to be date. This is going to be date. All right. This is pulling the state data. Data. And then we're going to go ahead. Let's call this state. Let's call it OI for Rhode Island. Let's go and run this here. There you can see the date format. Then we're going to come down here. County daily, I think is what it is. Once again, we can actually keep this, but what do we got over here? Okay, and we can actually use the same code. Let's come back over here instead. Do this one more time. Let's call this C for Rhode Island counties. I like to get all the as much data or anything I can out of Rick. Interesting. Anyway, all right. Without in counties. Let's take a look at this here. So now you can see we got the new cases also by county. We got cases for the state, but so all we got to do is to figure out which county, which top 5 counties had the most cases for August 23rd. I believe this is only August 23rd. And we can actually do that. And but anyway, on with the show. All right. So let's come back over here in that case. Like I say, it's all about results. And if you can cut and paste your way through a project, hey, more power to you. That's what I say. Let's change DF to more occurrences. Okay. Except we're not actually doing. So if we look at this, that's interesting. So the total cases, total deaths should be the cumulative totals. All right. Okay. You know what? Let's do. Let's come back up here also. Include quotation, total deaths. So those should be the. So that should be okay. It's date. Now we're going to say total cases, total deaths. See how this looks. The other thing I want to do first, I'm just getting into a habit here of actually doing a sort. can't think of what the decreasing, that also. I don't know if it actually makes any difference or not, but it can help for things like determine which 4 or 5 states have the highest number of new cases or deaths. So we can do that. Come down and run that. So what we see here now is cumulative cases, cumulative deaths. You can definitely see the curve here. Flattened and increased enough around here, around June, it actually appears as if it started to level off for deaths. Okay, good. Good. Now, since we've already got this, let's come down here and do this. Total so all we got to do here is change this to C. Just still right. Okay. When you once again you could see here without on cases. Okay. By date. But let's do one more thing. Let me see here. No, this is mainly just this here. Let's do a 14-day. And I also wanted to show you where this code is coming from for the monthly total. Okay, and I'll even put a link to this in the description below. Okay, and here it is. That's all this is. All right. I put it in. All I'm doing over here is I put it into another R file, and I called it right there. Okay. Like I say, I'll put a link. Oh, here it is. Here it is right here also. Okay. I don't know what all this is anymore. Well, I better keep that. I might need that. Something new. So be sure and put that in the code for you. Moving average, RI, new cases, comma, 14, moving average, C, moving average, deaths. Deaths. Okay? So all we have to do here now is let's just run this. Okay. Date. Take this line down here, and this will give us our moving average, a 14-day moving average. You can see the moving average right here perfectly. Deaths are holding steady at under 5 per day. Cases are spiking, but we're still seeing the same pattern. Cases are spiking, but deaths are staying low, which is interesting, I think, which I still think is interesting. Okay. Let's come back over here then. Copy all this. Once again, all we have to do is run this and this. Okay, we want yeah, we want no, we want to divide this by cases. Okay. The aggregate is still called cases. The total is still, this is weekly. Okay. Cases, well, while there's a spike, okay, the cases are really staying pretty low. Most people in July have a huge spike here. Deaths are still well down below here. Okay, 20 per day. What happens if you come down here and go ahead? Hmm. Hmm. RCASES. This is going to be cases. Okay, death rate. A rough death, again, this is a very rough estimate and it's probably got all kinds of holes in it, but it still gives us an idea that your death rate is still well under 5%, which is incredibly good news. Okay? Now, normally I go on to a monthly set of numbers, but I want to get instead, I want to go on to try to calculate which states uh, have the highest number of new cases and new deaths. Okay, I wonder if I got that code down here someplace. Hmm. Hmm. You know what? This may not be as hard as I thought. RI, make this 3. This is interesting, isn't it? Well, it sort of worked. That worked. Let's just run these 3 codes right here. df, df new cases, df cases, That's the problem. Now let's try it. Let's see what happens if we do this. Take a look at okay, so you're telling me that, how can these be the top 5? So you're telling me on the 23rd, none of the states had 0. Huh. Am I overlooking something here? Let's try it again. You're telling me that no Rhode Island county well, I hate to say it, but apparently Rhode Island, for several days now, Rhode Island hasn't had any cases or deaths. Huh. Let's do a plot of. Let's start with a plot of greater. Let's start the plot of August. All right. Let's just comment this stuff out here. Let's just completely get rid of it. All right. Let's see. Let's just do instead. Let's just do a quick line plot, shall we? No, we can't do that. Let's make this RI. That certainly is an interesting plot. Let's go back to 6. Let's take a look at this. Deaths look really good from June through August. From July onward, really good. Uh, okay, let's do this. So let's do this. Let's say it's the present. So this is just F above. We did beginning with August or it's April. This here, there's cases. New deaths. You can see those have fallen down. Rhode Island's doing a fantastic job, but like everybody else, they're struggling with the cases. Cases are clearly going up and down. Uh, but you know, when we think about diseases, it's always about the deaths. There were X number of flu deaths during the last flu season. There were X number of people die each year from lung disease or from cancer, from opioids. We never talk about cases when it comes to the effects of a disease. It's always death, and their deaths are really good, as you can see. So let's just do this. Let's just run the final report. Hopefully tomorrow night we'll have we'll have a state who actually has some deaths and cases during the last during the la- during the last month. Let's see one more thing up here. Let's change the size of the figures as I like to do. Okay. Now let's run the final report. Cumulative cases, cumulative deaths. Looks like they had another flattening curve there. Total cases from April 1st forward. You can see there was a distinct decline. This red line is a 14-day moving average. And then you can see the gradual new climb back up in cases, starting probably the first week of July, or first week of August. It's a little bit of decline back down. Deaths by date, interesting. They got a double crown here. It's kind of interesting. Decline, 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 decline. So they're currently, for the last, maybe since the first part of August, they've had fewer than five cases per day. Cases by week, spike back in April as expected, although their spike in, and this is fantastic. I mean, look at this. While everybody else is spiking in June and July, they're holding steady at under 1,000 cases per week. Deaths are holding steady at under 20 per week. Well, this is actually the death rate, I believe. Death rate well under 5%. Here's the totals for July 1st till today. Cases, and this, we had some spikes, but the cases seem to be pretty level. Deaths have started declining in June, continue to hold steady under 5 per week. So the conclusion here is that Rhode Island is doing a fantastic job. Good job, guys. And I don't know what they're doing at Ohio and the rest of the country is not known, but they're always doing something right. Okay, so that takes care of the random state report for today for Rhode Island. And don't forget to click that red button at the bottom there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we'll catch you tomorrow for the next random state report.